Nice. Let's get it. I got my Charger shirt on.
Oh, you represent. I didn't know you was doing that.
We're doing sports. Let's go. Welcome, everyone, to the Way Back Wednesday podcast. I am Lance Falatomo.
Here with Sefa M. You know what I'm saying?
Happy birthday.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Let's get into it. This, again, Way Back Wednesday, a nostalgic podcast conversation about sports legends.
What we gonna do right here is go back. Way back. Back into time.
Yeah, so we saw this old post. It might have been a tweet or a reel. I'm sure everybody else has seen it, but it's guys could just name old sports legends and have the best time of their life for hours, just for a long time, just be talking about throwback, sports heroes that they remember from their childhood or before, and that really got us thinking about if we could do that. I think we can. I feel like our conversations are usually just rolling, throwback, super nostalgic. That's the point of the show. So really want to get into some of the dope players, teams, plays that we remember growing up. But this could be for all sports. What would you say you were a fan of?
Let me just say this real quick. The listener viewership or whatever you call it is going to be no women whatsoever.
No, women like sports.
I mean, yeah, but they like, all right, we're going to come back next week when y'all talk about Jerry Springer.
We got definitely nostalgic, dope stuff.
I think growing up, I was definitely more into basketball, like watching basketball and playing basketball.
Nice.
And then like when I got to high school, like seeing because I never played football, but my cousins did, and watching them play football, seeing, and then being at the high school, like, so being proud of the football team, like I started getting into football more, like watching football more. So yeah, it was like before it was basketball. And also it kind of coincided with like the Kings started sucking. So like it was hard to watch. It was hard to watch. It was real hard to watch, man. So then they started trading my favorite players. And after that, I was just done.
You switched over to football mainly?
Yeah. And how about you?
Yeah, I got sat down as a kid when I told my older cousin Frigno that I liked the Chicago Bulls. We were in Carson at the time. We'd never been to Illinois. We'd never been outside of California.
Hold up. You're not finna just skip over that. You got a cousin named Frigno?
Ferrigno, named after the Incredible Hulk actor.
Yeah, I was gonna say Lou Ferrigno is the Incredible
named after
Hulk.
Lou Ferrigno. Yeah, him and his dad were friends.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
his dad was friends with the Hulk.
Yeah, I think they were workout buddies. I'd have to ask, but this
cool. Yeah,
this cousin was like the leader of our generation. He would like sit us down and tell us what's going on, and he was like, I think we were watching a Bulls versus Laker game. It might have been on KCal or Fox 11 or whatever it was at the time, but the Bulls were playing the Lakers, and I was like, nice, Michael Jordan. He was like, what's your favorite basketball team? And I was like, the Bulls. And he was like, sit down right now. He took out a piece of paper and he's like, write down the players you know on the Bulls other than Michael Jordan. And I was stuck. I was like 9. I was like, I think there's the guy with the hair. There's the white guy that's tall. And he's like, shut up. You're not a Bulls fan. You can't be a Bulls fan because of one superstar player. So write down all the teams that you're going to cheer for the rest of your life. And I just picked a bunch of LA teams. So
damn,
Chargers,
intense.
Lakers, Dodgers. From like age 9 is where I started my sports allegiances. I feel like as a kid, I didn't really play a lot of football, basketball outside of school or like recess. Mostly was like playing park sports on the weekends or running around with the cousins. But I definitely got into football growing up. Chargers fan. You're a Niners fan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just your family is real intense. Like your cousin Ferrigno sound just like your uncle Salmore. Like
No,
write
different.
down, write down all the teams that you're gonna cheer for the rest of your life. Like I'm 7.
Yeah, it's like, yo, just have like a real team that you really invest in. Yeah, so
What was his
started.
team?
I don't think he likes sports.
He was just checking you just to check you.
Yeah, he was like, look, I don't want you going out here and looking all weird. People are gonna be like, oh, you like the Bulls in '98? Imagine that.
I ain't gonna lie, he was looking out for you because that is kind of crazy. Like when I honestly, bro, I look at people weird when they from a city that has teams and then they don't like that team. Like, well, I grew up with people who was born and raised in Sacramento, and I guess it's different. It's different when like maybe your parents ain't from there, and so you grow up in a household that's a Laker household in Sacramento. I kind of get that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I kind of get that, but like I knew people who just chose to be Laker fans because they was good and born and raised in Sacramento.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't trust you. You a snitch. You a snitch on somebody. If y'all robbed the store, you would tell on somebody. Like you flip flopping. You got your roots is very in sand. It's not. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like yeah, I also share that sentiment when people are like, "Oh, I'm a Cavaliers fan and a Yankee fan and a Tampa Bay Rays fan," and I'm like, "What? How did that happen?" It's like, "Oh, they all won championships at different points of my life." I was like, "Oh, that's." I don't know if that. I don't think that's legit reason. That is that what you're talking about. They just started winning, so they started going to that team or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I also try not to fault people for having out of city teams because there are the people that are like, oh, I moved from there, or my cousin plays for them, or
I'll be
my
doing
uncle went to that school or something.
I do my research before I hate. I'll be like, oh, for real, you a Baltimore fan? When's the last time you've been to Baltimore?
Yeah.
How was
time you watched The
Maryland?
Wire?
But yeah, nah. You know what though? When I went to Samoa, I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of hating, bro. I was kind of hating, bro, because it's like you can't get mad
right
at whoever they choose because they so far removed.
Exactly.
It's like you have to pick and choose. Like you have to make a decision. So then, like when I ran into like Patriots fans over there, and I was just like,
nah. It's I feel like it's one thing to be a fan of a team outside of your country, like especially if you're an American Samoa and there's no teams close to you, right? The closest team is the Chargers and the Rams in LA. But yeah, if you pick a team that is outside of your area and is winning and is just like won a bunch of Super Bowls and you're a fan because of that, I was like, you did not earn that. You did not go through the suck to get to the wins.
You did not go through the suck. That's crazy. That's crazy, Lance. Don't you ever say that again.
That's an Army saying, bro. Embrace the suck. Okay.
The worst thing I ever heard was a kid Samoa. He said he was a Patriots fan, and I said, all right, I mean, I get it. I know that you chose them because they were winning. This fool looked at me and said, no, I chose him because Junior Seau. I was like, what the hell?
Okay. For one season.
I said, he's not known for being there. They was like, no, he was playing when I was in high school. I was like, bro, okay, whatever.
The most famous Junior Seau in a Patriots jersey picture is him walking off the field when the Giants confetti is raining down on him. That's like the most memorable Patriots Junior Seau picture I can think of. Him on the Dolphins, that also sucked because he left the Chargers to go to the Dolphins. But yeah, shout out to Junior Seau who was on the Patriots, and I guess a bunch of people could have used that as an excuse, especially Samoans. Same with Troy for the Steelers when the Steelers popped off.
I will say this: JD and the homies, they said that they was Steeler fans before Troy because there's like another Samoan dude back in the day. You know who
that played for them?
Yeah,
Chris Fuamatu-Ma'afala.
Yo, Lance is gonna win the obscure part. Who the hell is you talking about right now?
Oh wait, are you talking about the linemen?
I don't know. I think
But see, for JD and them, they were fans before it popped off, and still after through the Mason Rudolph,
because
through
they
the
suck
freaking
right now.
Yeah, if you're still a fan now, that's cool.
They really suck right now. They really suck right now.
Didn't they make it to the playoffs? I can't say they suck. You as a Niner fan might be able to. I can't yet. We might have signed Harbaugh, but that's still a couple years away from moving into it. So Jim Harbaugh, also a throwback Charger.
Okay, I didn't even know that. All right.
He played quarterback, I think 94 or something. Yeah, but that's a good point. When you go to American Samoa, anybody can be any team, and you just gotta be ready for it. But when you're in the States, you're like, why would you be that team if you're not even around there?
Like, how are you?
Are there any teams outside of Sacramento or like Northern California that you root for?
No, I only really root for basketball and football.
Kings and
I don't even really watch basketball though. I can't watch basketball because the games don't matter. Like, I'll watch it
regular season games.
Yeah, I'll watch it like towards the end, like when they start playing for like, contention or who's in the playoffs. I'll watch it then, but like when it comes to regular, like, if a team getting blown out in the third quarter, then the starters just sit for the fourth. I'm not watching it. So I just
I know there are like basketball people who are like every play matters, every position, like every like edge you can get, but it does feel like that those regular season or the first 3 quarters of regular season games don't matter, and it's all just building up towards the regular season standings. They did that in season tournament that the Lakers won. Just side note, that was supposed to bring more. It was like special games on Tuesday and Friday that they were trying to make the regular season pop more. And I think numbers wise, it did do well. But back to the I just want to. I don't know if we asked this. How did you become a Niner fan? Like, just your household Niner fans, or was there a certain player that you watched when you started watching football?
Yeah, my whole family's basically Niner fans. I ain't gonna lie, my cousin might tell you, like, if you ask him, he know. I used to be a Broncos fan, and not really a Broncos fan, but I was a Terrell Davis fan.
That's what I'm saying.
Terrell Davis was my favorite player. I remember watching him, and I was just like, man, this guy is head and shoulders like above the rest of the people on the field. Like, I used to think, like, I was like, ain't nobody better than this guy. Like, he was so good as a kid. So I gravitated towards Terrell Davis, and then eventually, everybody on that squad, John Elway and McCaffrey. Who was it? Was it Romanowski? Shannon
Bill
Sharp?
Romanowski.
Yeah. So like, I like that whole squad. But it was really Terrell Davis. And then like after he retired, or after, he started getting all the injuries and whatever, like I didn't care about the Broncos anymore. I was like, I don't really.
My favorite player's gone. I don't.
Yeah, so I didn't care. And then I didn't watch football like in the middle, like junior high, whatever. I didn't care about it. And then high school is when it picked up again. And then, I mean, everybody, was watching the Niner games, and everybody was talking about the Niners.
Community.
So then like and even when I was rooting for Terrell Davis and them, like I was always watching Niner games, Garrison Hurst and all them, and Kevin Barlow and all them, because my dad and them was watching it. So I was always familiar, but I just they wasn't as good as Terrell Davis.
Yo, shout out Terrell Davis. He graduated from Georgia, but he went to Long Beach State, like his junior college years, or Long Beach City, Long Beach State. He only played 7, the Mile High Salute. Yeah, credit was starting that. Record for most postseason touchdowns. I think he had 8 one year, but he only played like 7 seasons. Man, wow, that's crazy, and still Hall of Famer in 2017.
He had ridiculous chronic migraines.
Oh, what?
Yeah, like there was I was watching a documentary or something on him one time, and he was in the playoffs or the Super Bowl, but it was an important game. He gets hit and he can't see anything. but they kept him in the. He told him because he had bad migraines. That's I think that's really why he retired.
Yep.
He told them that because it would happen sometimes. Like he couldn't see. He told him I couldn't see. They told him if we take you out, they know we're gonna pass. We need you.
Oh,
we need you in. They kept him in the game, and he stayed in the game.
Yeah.
And I think they either faked the handoff or at least he was in the game, so they had to keep the box locked just in case he got the ball. But he couldn't see a thing.
That's
He
scary.
said it was just blinding, like it was just blinding white light, and he was just like, "Yo, I can't see nothing." And they told him, "We need you still."
Just pretend you're getting the handoff and run into the pile.
Right?
What?
Isn't that crazy?
So you get knocked out more and not be able to protect yourself.
Yeah, so Terrell Davis was, that was my guy. That was my guy. Learning about him too, he seemed real like commendable. Like he seemed like a real solid, upstanding individual. And so I just was like, yeah, man, because they always tell you not to meet your heroes. They always say, don't meet your heroes because you'll come to find out they nothing like who they portray to be on TV or on the football field, whatever. He seemed like a real cool guy. You know what I'm saying? So
TD.
yeah. So yeah, Niner fan. How about you? You always been a Charger fan? How'd that come about?
I mean, there was that. I think the Raiders went to the Super Bowl versus the Buccaneers, and there's camera footage of me cheering for the Raiders. But outside of that, I'm just been a Charger fan, waiting for good stuff to happen. Still waiting. But yeah, it's going to be better now. Yeah, through the years, I mean, freaking young Phillip Rivers was 2004 with Eli Manning, Ben Roethlisberger right at the top of that class.
Was it Ryan Leaf? Was y'all?
Ryan Leaf in '98 after Peyton Manning. I think he was the second overall pick behind Peyton Manning, and those careers diverged way off track because Junior Seau again was in the locker room. Ryan Leaf blows up on a reporter and is like, "Don't ask me that question. Oh, what do you think?" And Junior Seau's the one that has to come and drag him away from the reporter. But yeah, Ryan Leaf was an absolute bust.
Yeah.
I think he's doing Washington State TV now, like sports stuff. But Junior Seau, LaDainian Tomlinson was running the league, bro.
Gosh.
That little flip on his touchdowns. That line too, during the LT era, and also Lorenzo Neal at fullback, which we don't see a lot anymore. We're just clearing the way and making it really easy. And also transitioning from Drew Brees to Phillip Rivers. I think they also made a big change to run more because Drew Brees is more dotted up, short. He's also short. And then Phillip Rivers was like, I want to throw it, dadgummit. I want to throw that ball. So just freaking flying. So he probably needed more time. But Phillip Rivers was so frustrating to watch, especially with Roethlisberger and Manning winning Super Bowls with their teams, and Phillip Rivers just feeling like, oh, bro, it's just not enough. It could be enough in the right situation, that things all break the right way, but he would test these freaking windows, bro. Sometimes it would work, but other times it would get intercepted, tipped up, picked off. He'd wait too long and get sacked. But the end of the Drew Brees era, all of the Phillip Rivers era, and now into Justin Herbert has been, I guess, my Chargers career. But
that's a lot of heartbreak.
Yeah, it's been a while. You see why I like this? Hold on, guys. It's not that good yet. Let's make sure we get the win. But a bunch of cool Chargers players that have been fortunate enough. Malcolm Floyd also, M80, Someone wide receiver, played for a long time with Phillip Rivers and Vincent Jackson, Antonio Gates. Those were his main guys. But I think Vincent Jackson was 6'4", Malcolm Floyd was 6'4", Antonio Gates was hella tall. So we had a really aggressive catch type of wide receiver core, which kind of helped with Phillip Rivers. But are there any Niners players that really stick out to you that you can just remember when you were starting to watch, they really popped off or were all pros or the best at their position?
I mean, where do we begin? I mean, I got to start with Patrick Willis, man. Patrick Willis was my favorite player to watch.
Nice.
You know, Patrick Willis and LeVar Bowman, you know, them two, that was crazy that we got them two at the same time.
Willis and Bowman. That's like Warner and Greenlaw, but I feel like
way better.
Yeah.
But I give Warner, he got good coverage, but Willis, man, it was crazy. Willis, Bowman, who was on it? Justin, what's his name? Justin Long, is that his name? Or Justin something, the white boy. It was a white boy on there.
There was a Chris Long too. I think Justin Long is, you're right. Chris Long was the O-lineman.
Was it Justin Smith? It might have been Justin
Smith.
Yeah, Justice Smith and Alden Smith. They was on the edge. Justin Smith. I know Bosa, you know, I like Bosa. You know what I'm saying? I think he's doing great. You know what I'm saying? But
you traded him for Max Crosby today?
Yes.
No.
Max Crosby plays like 85% of the snaps. He don't get off the field. Bosa be in there, in and out. That fool too pretty. You know what I'm saying? That's still my guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's just too pretty. He be in and out. He got the Jordan cleats. Like, come on, bro. It's not a fashion competition, bro. Get to the quarterback.
Get to the quarterback. Apply the pressure.
If we could have had both white boys now, that's, you know what I mean? We saying something.
Could have, right? Crosby was like a 5th round pick in that draft.
4th, 5th, yeah, something like that. Damn.
In the same draft as Nick Bosa. What was that, 2019?
Yeah, something like that. You know who I hate? Nate Clements. I remember him, cornerback. We gave him so much money and he didn't do a damn thing. He really hindered us for a while with that contract. That was a crazy contract. And
they just super overpaid him, thought he was going to be a lockdown number 1?
He definitely wasn't. He was a lockdown on the salary cap. That's what he was. Who else we got? Frank Gore, of course.
Frank the Tank.
One of the greatest running backs of all time. I mean,
his son's coming out now.
We could go back to the times where I wasn't around to watch it, but I don't want to really do that because I don't know them players like that. But I will say this: I am always amazed at Jerry Rice's numbers.
Damn,
I don't get it.
How'd you do that back then when they weren't throwing?
Bro, I just don't get it. Like, how so I've watched clips of him, I watched highlights and stuff, and I get it, but like I really want to watch every game of his because I don't understand like how you that good. And this is like they was playing with a lot less equipment, technology, freaking, they wasn't going into the hyperbolic chambers where the ice baths, the cool baths, they wasn't getting all of this treatment. Like this dude was probably, smoking cigarettes and drinking beer after the game type stuff. And he was putting up these crazy numbers. Like, I think that's incredible. I every time I see him, I'm just like, he looks like he could still get 500 in the season. Like he still looks, you know what I'm saying? So
he led the league in yards and receiving yards in 6 of 10 seasons between 86 and 95. He led the league in receiving touchdowns in 5 out of 6 years between 86 and 91. Dang. 1,800 yards in 1995. 1,800 receiving yards in 1995. Bro, at 33 years old.
Look at how was his last season or second to last season? Like, what are his last season numbers? Like
in 2002, this is like his second season with Oakland. 92 catches, 1,211 yards.
At what age?
40. 92 catches, 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns at age 40.
Bro,
is that when they went to the Super Bowl?
I'm telling you, bro, if you really look at Jerry Rice's numbers, it doesn't make sense. I don't understand how, like, everybody talks about Joe Montana. Like, no, Jerry Rice wasn't good because he had Joe Montana. Joe Montana was good because he had Jerry Rice. He was Steve Young, like, because he went to another team and did the same thing at 40. And it wasn't a passing league yet. Like, it was,
that's the part. Yeah, it wasn't a passing league. It was still running, and Jerry Rice was like, well, I'm gonna show you guys the future. This is what the league's about to go to. Damn.
Jerry Rice to me is the greatest 49er of all time. And I mean, and then there's also like a bunch of players in between that, like, you know, we had Randy Moss. What was it? And I don't care what y'all say, Colin Kaepernick was a baller, man. We just had Jim Tonsula, who could not do anything with any, you know, with any pieces. Stop bringing up that last season he had. That boy is a baller. A player that I don't think a lot of people remember was Chris Borland. You remember Chris Borland?
Sounds familiar. Defensive player?
He was a linebacker. He was super short. He looked like Nathaniel Hackett. Bro, I don't know how. Look up his stats for his year, because I think he played one season and then he quit.
One season and then quit?
I'm gonna say
2014.
Yeah.
Started 8 games and played 14. 107 tackles, 1 sack, 2 picks, and a fumble recovery.
Bro, if you watch the tape, I know the numbers don't sound too impressive, but if you watch the tape, Chris Borland was a baller, bro. He was a dog on that defense. And he was like unknown. Like, I don't know when he got drafted or what. I think we might have picked him up at a gas station or something, but
third round pick out of Wisconsin.
Bro, and then he quit because of the whole CTE stuff that came out. So he retired, but man, that fool was, man, that white boy was about to be the great white hope. It's like, oh shit. Yeah, Chris Borland was raw. Brandon Lloyd was
Brandon Lloyd. Oh, I just seen like a big highlight tape come out for Brandon Lloyd, and they were like, I don't believe y'all forgot about this guy. Brandon
Lloyd. Yeah. So yeah, man. Shout out to the Niners, man. Past, present, future. You know, we here. Except for Crabtree.
Except for Crabtree?
Crabtree's a bum.
Once a Niner, always a Niner. Except for you, Michael.
Except for Crabtree. You know, he didn't even want to be a Niner. He held out. Like, he held out the whole preseason trying to get the most money he could get.
Wait, you don't think he wanted to be a Niner, though?
No, he didn't want to get drafted to us. That's when we was trash.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, no, thank you.
Forget him, bro. Speaking of, that's a player I hate. But speaking of that, which teams do you hate the most? Like, who did
the Raiders?
Okay,
let's go the Raiders because, oh my gosh, so confident all the time. The Raiders. Definitely our division, the Chiefs, because Patrick Mahomes been to the AFC Championship for the last 6 years that he's been a starter out of 6 years. So that's more just like jealousy and being tired of like your big brother beating up on you. Yeah, those are 2 teams that I can think hate like have like a rivalry hate. What about the Niners? What about the Niner Nation?
I mean, we used to hate the Raiders too, but they ain't in the Bay no more, so ain't no battle of the Bay. You know what I'm saying?
You made them move?
Yeah, they made themselves move. Ain't enough support. But for me personally, the Cowboys. I think the rivalry started in the 90s and the 80s, but like half of my family, like out of town family, half of them is Cowboy fans. So then, you know, it's a lot of rivalry. You know, it's a lot of Crips in my family. You know what I'm saying? So they all. It sucked because I'm a Niner fan, but we don't wear Niner gear. Like,
you got to wear all the gold stuff.
No, we wear. They got black and white. They got black and white stuff. So yeah, the Cowboys for sure, and then just me personally. Well, I mean, you know, same division or conference, whatever. The Seahawks. I don't care how terribly they've been doing in recent years. I will always be afraid of that matchup. I don't care how much they have sucked. I don't care how much they have been trash. It doesn't matter. I just, but now that the coach is gone, you know, ding dong, the witch is dead. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm gonna sleep a little better because he had our number. I don't know if the next coach or whoever's gonna have our number, but I'm glad they didn't get Harbaugh. That would have been hurt.
Oh man,
whoa, yeah. Like, that would have been, you know. So
I don't think that was. I think Harbaugh was looking at a few select teams that had quarterbacks and were kind of open on the GM side, and he found his fit in LA. But with Pete Carroll stepping down in Seattle, it's interesting to see who they're going to hand it over to now.
And the Eagles. The Eagles most recently because of what they did to us last year and all that mess they was talking. And look at them now.
Because they broke Brock Purdy's face or his shoulder?
Yeah, his elbow. And then they was like, oh, even if you had Brock Purdy, you would have lost. And what we do, smack them upside the head. Smack them upside the head with Brock Purdy.
Before we keep going, Brock Purdy, legit or not, right? What do you think?
I mean, he's a second-year quarterback. I think he's a legit second-year quarterback. I hate the fact that they comparing him to Goff, comparing him to Stafford, comparing him to Jalen, even Jalen Hurts. Like, all these quarterbacks who've had time. I don't know. Jalen Hurts probably been here least amount of time out of all of them, but like Jared Goff and Matt Stafford have been here for years. You know, like they've been established. Like Brock Purdy's a second. You know, he got to find his footing still. But I think he's a great second-year quarterback. But I also understand he has a great surrounding cast. I'm not gonna say like, oh, he's better than Justin Herbert. I'm not gonna say that. You know, because a lot of people bring. No, I wouldn't. Justin Herbert is a baller, bro. Like, especially doing what he does with no healthy wide receiver core. That's crazy. Like,
slinging it until his finger gets mangled in someone's helmet.
You know, so yeah, no, I think he's legit for a second year. I think he's just getting better. I think I like the adversity coming in the regular season because that's where you want to get tested. You don't want to get tested in the playoffs and not be ready for it. That's exactly what happened with the Packers. That's exactly what happened with the Packers. You know, and in the regular season, we had three games where we lost in a row. And most of that some of that was due to him facing adversity and not being able to overcome it. And he faced adversity against the Packers and he overcame it. And he, you know, that last drive really showed. But
that last drive was scary.
It was. It was so quiet in the house when I was watching that game. Like, we was talking all this mess before the game. As soon as it started, it was just like, damn, let's
watch. Let's see what happens.
I guess the Cowboys don't suck that much. This team is real. But yeah, those are the teams that I hate, man. Cry, Eagles, cry. Cry, Eagles, cry.
Oh man. Yeah. What is the championship round? We got the Niners versus the Lions and the Ravens versus the Chiefs.
Yeah.
There are some really good matchups. I think those are like two of the best matchups that could have been the NFL could have hoped for. And it also has a bunch of electric players all over the place. Is there, thinking of players from teams you hate, but the players that you actually like or respect?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of like, I can't even hate Max Crosby. Like that's full respect, right? Like anytime we play him, I'm like, maybe we should have a professional right tackle and a tight end and a running back chip that guy because he's always in the backfield, and I'm always getting mad. I'm like, he's the guy. How are you not blocking the guy?
Yeah.
That's super frustrating. But definitely, like as an overall football fan, respect the production and the effort and the way Max Crosby kind of like is an annoying bully to a bunch of people, like to Mahomes, to throw Mahomes off every time the Raiders play the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Like he'll get like extra hits in, extra little stuff just to like either tell Mahomes, you know, I'm around you, or I almost got you, or just to be in his head like that. And it's worked. Like they beat the Chiefs and basically got Antonio Pierce the Raiders job when the Raiders were out of the playoffs. Are there any players you like or respect that play for teams you hate?
I think the main one off the top is Richard Sherman. I know he played for us too, but I used to hate that guy. I used to hate Richard Sherman with a passion. I wanted to cut his dreadlocks off and freaking mess up his knee again. You know, he did it in college or high school, whatever. And then he came on our team and he got did dirty by Seattle. And look at him now. He's like our biggest spokesman. Yeah.
And so you're like a Richard Sherman fan after he played for the Niners, though?
Well, not even during it, even during the rivalry, like I was like, you know, he a dog. Like you need them dogs on your team. You need the people to intimidate the other teams. Like that's exactly what he needs to do. So I wasn't mad that he was doing it. I was mad he was doing it to us. And it also made me hate Michael Crabtree more because it's like, bruh, stick up for yourself. Fight back.
Sorry, that's Crabtree.
Fight back, dude. Fight back. Like, what you just pulled your chain off, bro. Fight back. Like, do something, you know? So it just, I gotta respect it. Even on the Eagles, I gotta respect AJ Brown. You know what I'm saying? Bobby Wagner, like the whole Seattle defense, Bobby Wagner, Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas III, like that whole defensive squad. Yeah, that was like scary to go up against.
Yeah, they were at the top of the league when they were doing that, and they weren't running anything special defensively, like scheme wise. They weren't tricking people. They were just bigger, and told you up to your face, we're not changing our defense, but we're still gonna beat the crap out of you. We're still gonna lock you down. It's gonna be a long day for you, seeing the same thing and still not being able to beat it. And that was the Legion of Boom covering in the back, and then I think even the D linemen picked up a really big boost from that, and their defense was crazy. I remember that. What do you remember what the Niner team was looking like during that time?
It was the Patrick Willis era. Willis, Navarro Bowman, Kaepernick, or Alex Smith. It was kind of,
I'd say usually there's like fluxes, right? Like one team will go good, and then another team will like dip or not have good players that year or for a couple of years. But to see them both fully stocked up on defense and all have weapons on offense, that must have been.
And the Rams was no slouches neither at that time. They had like Todd Gurley in them.
Yeah, young Aaron Donald.
I don't think he was as much of a problem, but I remember Gurley used to give us issues.
Todd Gurley, oh my gosh.
Yeah, the Rams wasn't the Arizona Cardinals sucked, of course, but even when we played like what's his name, Andre Ellington or something like that.
Sounds familiar.
It's just, Bruce. I don't know. They used to call him Baby Beast Mode. That fool was raw, bruh.
Oh, like, a running back?
Ellington? Yeah, running back. Is Andre Ellis or something like that? I don't know, something like that. But the NFC West was like the best, I think.
Nice, yeah.
And then like overnight, it turned into the worst. Like we're getting to the playoffs with 8 wins. What the hell? Like it was just terrible.
Oh yeah, the NFC South was like that this year. But yeah, there are times where it's like the best of your best is of your division isn't. It's only 8-9 wins.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Same with our division, man. I think it's mostly because you play the same teams twice a year. But like the Chiefs with Mahomes, Kelsey, that is so annoying to watch them like just wide open passes. I hate Andy Reid. I respect Andy Reid, the coach for the Kansas City Chiefs, right? Because like he went to 4 straight NFC championships with the Eagles. He's been to a bunch of AFC championships and won Super Bowls with the Chiefs. So he's done it a bunch of places. Offensive, mastermind that gets his players into wide open positions on the field. Respect. I hate that it happens to us all the time, right? Like other teams will like at least be able to stick with the wide receivers, but I don't know if it was just a Brandon Staley cover 3 defense or whatever type of bend but don't break, but still break at the end type of mentality it was. But it's always Mahomes throwing to wide open receivers or to Travis Kelce for a 10-yard touchdown that is just looks so easy and obvious in the replay.
Listen to this trauma.
Is this coming out really bad? But is this sports? But it looks like you should be able to cover it, but it's like, oh, how did Travis Kelce know exactly when to go to that spot at that time and break away? And it was an easy touchdown. It's because they plan it, they coach it, they practice it, and apparently Mahomes and Kelce they're always on the same page, so they know which way to break and they know which way to throw the ball to catch it. But yeah, that's super irritating. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, while all those guys were going off, Phillip Rivers was just like trying. Wild card round, divisional round. There was so long where the Chargers didn't even make the playoffs. But so I just had to like hate the people that did that to us.
And that's Lance's trauma dump.
Yeah, football is fun. It's definitely not that big a deal, guys, but It is. But it is. Yeah. Any other hated players that you can remember? I feel like I'm drawing a blank on some guys. I'm gonna remember them like right as we wrap up or something.
Yeah, like Perfect. I didn't like him. Vontae.
Oh yeah.
Not that we played them a lot, but I just didn't like him.
Dirty? Or that hit on
he was dirty.
Antonio Brown?
Yeah. But I think that's it.
Nice. Okay, so most obscure player that you can or name some obscure players that you can remember.
I kind of already said it, but Chris Borland was one of them. Mm-hmm. I think you know what, a lot of the running backs, because I used to love running backs, like watching them play, like Bishop Sankey, Clinton Portis. It's like just some random
Portis,
Kadeem Carey from freaking the Chicago Bears. A lot of people that I had on my fantasy teams that like just over the years.
When did you start playing fantasy?
Probably like 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Damn it. I want to say like 16 years ago. I started.
You started 16 years ago?
I was in Samoa. I was playing on a free ESPN league with 9 other randoms. But that was like my first time. I don't remember the players or anything, but it was like 2008, 2007, 2008.
God damn, man.
And you've
been around the block.
Yeah, I just didn't know what I was doing for the first couple seasons. I was just like, oh, let's sign up for this. And it definitely made me watch football more. Yeah, but I mean, I think the same. My like forgotten players are Vincent Jackson, Malcolm Floyd. I mean, I know LaDainian Tomlinson, people know the name, but I feel like definitely fading from remembering. Like, people don't talk about LaDainian Tomlinson like he was one of the best running backs ever. I mean, he's still on NFL Network and doing stuff, and they say it, but I feel like his shine is worn off.
You think his shine is worn off? I think people don't remember Shaun Alexander the way they need to.
Ooh, yeah.
Shaun Alexander.
He's not out there.
Shaun Alexander was a problem, and I hated watching him play, bro.
Yeah, you had to run on you guys. Oh man,
he was terrorizing us, bro. Oh my god,
Shaun Alexander, Madden cover.
Yeah. Todd Gurley too. You know, he had a short career.
He was with the Rams.
Yeah, he was with someone else too. I forgot.
He went to the Falcons after. Teamed up with Michael Burner Turner, also a former Chargers running back. Yeah, in Atlanta.
You got to give me some names so I could think.
Yeah, Eric Weddle. You remember Eric Weddle?
Oh, yeah, white boy Weddle.
Yeah, the beard.
He was nice.
He went and played for the Ravens, I think, in another team after. But I think San Diego did him dirty. And they didn't want to like bring him back, and it led to a whole thing. Jamal Williams was a nose tackle. Huge, really big.
Jamal Charles
for the Chiefs. Oh man, yeah. Oh, he was a fantasy superstar. Points per reception legend.
Maurice Jones-Drew,
MJD, also on the NFL Network now, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
He's from Long Beach Poly. I remember him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he was a beast. You know what's funny? We used to take him. Like, I remember one of my cousins did it first. Like, he took him at the Jags, and he started him over whichever running back was in front of him. And then, like, he started playing with him, and he was running crazy. And I was like,
Fred Taylor?
Damn. I was like,
Fred Taylor, Maurice Jones-Drew?
That's how I really knew who he was, because my cousin used to ball out with him on Madden. I didn't even know.
Oh, okay, on Madden. I thought you meant in fantasy. Like he moved in front of the start.
I remember when he laid out what's his name? What's y'all linebacker name?
Oh no.
Sean Merriman. He laid him out.
Oh yeah, lights
He laid him out in one. Sean Merriman tried to blitz up the middle, and he laid him out. I remember that.
He's from Oakland. Born in Oakland. Went to De La Salle.
Oh, De La
LSU.
Salle. My fault. I didn't know Long Beach. Spartans.
UCLA running back Maurice Jones-Drew, second
You know,
round
De La
pick.
Salle
Damn.
like the coldest. They like the goats at this.
The football high school in California. Where's Concord, California?
Oh no, somewhere over there by the grapes.
Maurice Jones-Drew, Fred Taylor. Fred Taylor's on the Pivot podcast with Ryan Clark and Channing Crowder.
Mm.
Fred Taylor was a beast running back, definitely. That's more so his highlights, but I think that was right before Maurice Jones-Drew.
Champ Bailey.
Jeez, Champ Bailey.
Champ
Who
Bailey
else? What other running or cornerbacks? Darrell Revis Island. D'Angelo Hall got his leg messed up by DeAndre Hopkins. Have you seen that? When they start fighting in it's a combined practice, I think in preseason, and D'Angelo Hall, the cornerback, is trying to say something to DeAndre Hopkins, and he's like, "Don't touch me, boy. I fear no man. I fear no man." He just starts getting ready to fight him, but then they go one-on-one on this pass route. And DeAndre Hopkins just hits a simple hook, but D'Angelo is like, "Oh," and his leg folds up under him. He's like, "Oh no!" I think he tore something. He had to be helped off the field after.
Oh my god!
But DeAndre Hopkins was like, "I don't start nothing. I just finish it." that clip is crazy. Any other DBs? Man, Justin Verrett. Is it Jason Verrett?
Jason Verrett.
Is he injured again?
Yep. He got injured playing basketball. He fell on his shoulder.
Oh.
He went up for a jump ball, fell on his shoulder, something like that.
Chargers drafted him out of TCU. Was supposed to be super good.
He's good when he's healthy.
Exactly, but I think he's had hella injuries. There's some who were any Islander throwback players stand out to you?
Isaac Sopwanga.
Isaac Sopwanga. Was it Chinoi Samoa? Lofatatupu. Got our lineman.
Chinoi Samoa, I remember him. That was the Madden. I remember playing with him, and that was the Madden where the helmet flies off if you hit him.
Oh, what?
Yeah. That was the Madden where and it's funny because if you're watching it, if you're watching it in the replay, and if it hits, even if you're going in slow motion, you're pulling the trigger slow, if it hits and then the helmet pops off, the animation goes in real time. So your dude could be moving super slow, and the helmet goes, it just falls out. It has 2 little bounces. I remember that. And I remember doing that a lot with Tino Samoa. I remember that. That was a beat.
People. Yeah, I remember there was a little, I think it was an American Samoa cartoon documentary / documentary that they did for both of those guys, so Bonga and Tinoi Samoa, Polynesian Power or Polly's from the Rock, something like that. That played a lot. I don't know if it was just in American Samoa or in the Pacific, but when they were getting ready to declare for the draft, I saw that all over the place. You got your legends, Polamalu, Troy Polamalu, I think is the reason for 60% of Steeler fans in the islands.
He is.
Not only was he a very recognizable figure, he was one of the greatest to play his position, and also won championships with that defense and team. And
he won 2?
I think he won 2, right?
Damn, I didn't realize.
He only won?
No, I don't know. I just remember the one against the Cardinals.
I want to say Cardinals and Seahawks. They played the Seahawks, I think, in Super Bowl 40, and it sounds right because that was the only Super Bowl I haven't watched because I was working at McDonald's on a Sunday in Tafuna. Let me check though.
No, you could be right. I just didn't realize that. That's hard.
Yeah. I want to make sure that he was on that first team. 2-time Super Bowl champion. Yep. 2010 Defensive Player of the Year. 6-time All-Pro. 8-time Pro Bowl. 2000s All-Decade Team. Steelers All-Time Team.
Yeah.
Troy Polamalu, USC.
Put some respect on his name. You know what I'm saying?
Man, there's also all the linemen. Oh man, I feel like we should have looked at. Do you remember any offensive or defensive linemen?
Jesse Sapolu was an offensive lineman.
Yep.
Defensive lineman, man. Rest in peace to my uncle Junior CVE. You know, he
Nice.
yeah, second round pick for Kansas City. He didn't do a lot, but he was up there, especially at Oregon. He was doing his thing, and he went to Butte College too. He used to play with I forgot which white boy quarterback was at Butte College, but yeah, man.
Is this Mike Upati?
Oh yeah, Upati was a beast.
Haloti Nada?
Mm-hmm. Nada was a beast.
Kimo von Olfen?
Who the hell is that?
He's a Steeler. I think he's a D-liner. Just going off. Yeah, Jesse Sapolu, Junior Seau, Lofa Tatupu, you name these guys. Yeah. Mark Tuinei, Vaisi Kahema. A running back for the Eagles. Was he a running back? Yeah.
Damn.
Some G's. Upati played for the Cardinals, but he played for the Niners before that, right?
Yep. He was with us during our quest for 6. You're still on it.
Still questing.
Still quested. We're questioning the quest.
Some of the big time names as far as linemen today: Isaac Silmalo with the Steelers, mm-hmm. Jordan Mailata out of Australia with the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you have any other Islander names or like any other sports names, football names, definitely leave them in the comments so we can continue this like remembering all of these great players. Yeah, but that's mostly the sports legends, and I mean at least ours, right? That's just the Chargers and Niners,
yeah, that's just
and Islanders. But if you got more,
only covering our part of the jurisdiction, not everything, but just ours.
We're just starting this conversation off for you, but there are other people, there are other teams, there are other players. Definitely hit us up in the comments and let us know your favorite players, favorite teams, most hated players that you respect. Yeah, tap in and let us know. Yeah, before we go, any wisdom now that you're older that you want to share, or any birthday shout outs?
Birthday. Hell no, man. Just get the icy hot ready. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Get the icy hot ready, man.
Nice. Yeah. Again, happy birthday to you. Appreciate you being on, and yeah, all that you do for the network, for this show, for the community that you're in. It's like, guys, I gotta go home now. I gotta leave Sacramento.
I gotta go make another place better.
Yeah, keep it up, man. I know a lot of people are very into what you're doing and respect you and follow. So yeah, keep it up. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Definitely hit Cepha up. What are your socials?
At Cepha M on everything.
Nice.
Yeah, Facebook, MySpace too. I don't even be on there, but
it's still Cepha M.
Twitter, Instagram at SCFAM,
Nice. Definitely tap in and wish them a happy belated birthday. Also, tap into the other shows. Got the Politicking Network on YouTube, which also houses the Politicking Podcast, Pacifica Movie Starter Kit, and of course, Way Back Wednesday.
And check out the Polynesian Podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You want to check out some sports? Me and Forrest. Shout out, brother Forrest. Yeah. Polynesian Podcast at Polynesian. There's a rapper named Polynesian, and I'm like, we're on a collision course for copyright. He's like Pistol the Polynesian or something. Spells it different, but it's the very same. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's our show for this week. Sports Legends. Make sure to tap in with us. Let us know if you have any of your own. But other than that, for Cepha M, I am Lance Falatone. This has been the Way Back Wednesday podcast. Catch you guys next week. Bob.
Yeah, 5.